Mano Kevin. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Ai o te li taina le tu ta fai toa. Pea upule wangana. Samoa o le atunu tofi. O paia o sama whainga o le ale o iesa o whamtalanga. Ao le ni taia. Ea e mua mua o whatalo whatu. I le paia maa o lunga o le o sasau. Tainane le su o whaurulunga. Oe o lo whafuina le tatu polkalani. Ia e meise foi. Te whatalo whapitoa lava. I le tangata anu o Aotearoa, New Zealand. Ai meise o Rotorua nei. No fuanga o lo tatu mafutai. Papelea. Ia. Ta alofa lava. Oh, you don't want to say talofa to me? Tie mauri ora. Aere mai te toki. Hau I mi. Hui e. Teiki e. Kena koutou. Kena koutou. Kena koutou katou. Just a bit of translation of what I said earlier. It's the traditional way of an orator welcoming everybody in this room. But before I go into the presentation, which don't start the time yet. Now, if you see on this slide, if all of you from New Zealand cannot guess that lady there, then I am sad. Because I invited her specifically to come to Samoa to open one of our programs on conservation. And this is our inclusive conservation. This is your Madam Cindy Kido, the Governor General of New Zealand. Let's all give a clap to Samoa for inviting her. I just want to introduce everybody before we move into the presentation. It says on there, Samoa Indigenous Sustainability Ranges. Now, this is something that our president, Afionga Tuiafutea, Olsen Wafuswanga, would you like to stand up here? Let's give a hand to... And he is the director of the Faleafaga Protection Society, or FEPS, known as FEPS. They work on community-based ranges working to sustainably improve livelihoods of everybody in the village. Now, I'm starting from the bottom, all right? Now it comes to myself, which is, as you see my name there, it's Faleafaga Tony Tipama. I'm a chief as well, but I'm an orator in that sense. And that's what I do. I work from the NGO point of view and the Samoa Conservation Society. And this is to put the link between the government, community, to train and equip rangers with skills, knowledge, and experience. So now you're starting to catch up on what we're trying to do. And then lastly, let me introduce Afionga Vailenga Timoteo Moresi. He is also a chief from the island of Savai. Yes. He's our government representative. Now we're so glad that this meeting has allowed the government of Samoa, the NGOs, and the CPOs to come together to try and form up an association called the Samoa Rangers Association. And already we've elected, this is our president, that's our vice president, and I am the secretary. before I move into this, which is something that I think all of you would like to know, also our team here, I'd like to also, welcome Timoteo Faleafaga. He is one of the co-founders of the FIPS, and also is a very great supporter for the Rangers Association in Samoa, which is yet to be up and going. And apart from that, we have here his son, Tom. And I like to acknowledge Tom because, you know what? Tom has kindly donated. See what we're wearing? We don't wear this back home. We wear it in New Zealand because it's cold. But for your information, this is the first time this company has actually donated uniform of this type to anyone. So please talk to Tom. Anyway, sustainable and durable partnership. Why we thought we'll bring you this is because it's important. Samoa in the 2014, they come up with a pathway, which is called Samoa Pathway 2014. Now, it will be 10 years to 2024 when they will review this pathway. And I thank the government of New Zealand, the government of Australia for being part of this SEEDS conference. Now, it says there, sustainable and durable partnership. And I thank Jolene because she has been talking from the beginning about partnership. It is very important for us from the islands to have this good partnership. And I think this morning we've seen that. The great partnership we have with the trade people, the people who can provide things, the IRF, CORA, and everybody who can provide this opportunity to have this kind of ranger program. That it's something that we miss. It's something that we don't have. But we are glad that this is happening. Timo's going to talk about the MNRE, or the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, on the monitoring of the parks and reserves and what they're doing, the selection of rangers they have, and then the partnerships and the projects with the NGOs, the CSOs, the CAAs, which you all know what they mean. The non-government organizations, the community-based organizations, and also the community conservation areas. And also I'd like him to talk about their 3 million tree program, which I'm pretty sure that is something that helps a lot with the carbon offsets these days. So I'd like to invite Faleafaga to start our presentation. Thank you.
Talo whaki. Maro soifua maro langi ma. Let's tell you a story. When the time I went to work and I already submit my application to join the meeting. I opened my mail and I saw Jolene's mail on my list of mail. Before I open it, and I ask God, please bless Jolene so that I can be in a meeting. Then I slowly open them. So here it is. I am here now. And I'm sure my friend Faleafaga and Tony will ask me if my applications are successful. And the following day, Faleafaga called me. Timo, how's your application? I said to Faleafaga, sorry bro, I'm not going. You should go because you are representing from the government. You are the one doing conservation in the national park. I will mail to Jolene. No, don't worry. Then the next day, my brother Tui also called me. Timo, how's your application. Sorry, bro, I'm not going. And I heard him, I said, oh, he started to cry. You should come, you the main focus of this program. We want to go and try to establish a partnership and also the Salmon Association. No, don't worry. And my friend, I will mail again to Jolene to make a chance for you to come. Don't worry. And at the end, they try to encourage me because they always request me for a truck and pick up and also the 2,000 seedling to provide for them for doing their project. Anyway, what I'm saying that now we are young. We are married now. We're working together. Hope our dream will become successful. That we are going to establish a Samoan Ranger Association. Let's give a clap. So I'm working in Ministry of Natural Resources, Division of Environment, and all the national park and reserve are under the Forestry Division. So I am not saying anything because Kelly here. Where's Kelly? Oh. Because Kelly came to Samoa and tried to encourage us for Ranger. So thank you, Kelly, for because there's another one came. Now I came again for this meeting. Thank you, Kelly, for hey. We have 5 ranger officers, and each national park have their own ranger. So that is their main responsibility. They have daily patrol around the national park. If there are any illegal environmental issue, if there is an environment issue, they will report to us and they will deal with it. Also, if there is any illegal logging in the national park or around the country, they also report us and then we deal with that so that no one will be doing it again. And also they will also provide assistance for park users, provide assistance for education awareness, and also assistance for restoration activity, and also refresher training, ranger training. Here it is. We have one-day restoration activity. We're working together with Faleafaga's project, SES, and also my friend there, Tui, to do some activity in National Park for tree planting. For 3 million tree campaign is a national tree planting campaign. We done 1 million. We also finished 2 million campaign for about 6 years. For this year, we start 3 million tree campaign. So it starts from 2022 up to 2028. So this is one of the well-known national park in Samoa. It's called Olpupe National Park. That's the ground boundary, and it was established in 1978. That is the first national park in the Pacific, and also is the second Ramsar site, and the first Green Commonwealth Canopy, QCC, and first and second Survival Series film site. So we are lucky to have this movie from Australia to place in our our national park. That's the overview of our national park, and that's one photo of our ranger. I'm sorry, there is no official uniform like you have. Just only ride on a horse and go around. So hope we establish our association. Then we have a lot of money for funding uniform. Here it is. We come from the ridge to reef. That is inside of our national park at the edge of the sea, up to the highest mountain of the Olpue National Park. Okay, if you have any question, will be asked during our lunchtime. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Just to add something on what the last slide is, I mean, we've just do up a trail, or we've got a trail right up to the top of the mountain. The highest mountain here is 1,855, which is on top of the national park. And that national park is called Olepupu'e National Park, and I'm pretty sure some Maoris can understand what I'm saying. It's from the coast, Pupu, to the ridge, Pu'e. Pu'e is top, and from the ridge to the top. Okay. Now, I represent the Samoa Conservation Society, and it's an NGO, and it's a young, only 80 years old, but we've done a lot, and we tried our best to make sure that we work a lot to do with conservation, biodiversity, and also with other areas. And I think these are the key objectives that we have, is to look at the knowledge and understanding of what needs to be, conserved and protect. It's the awareness of Samoa's biodiversity, something that we do. And Kevin, I would love to have you Samoa to kick off our program as well. We also encourage sustainable conservation programs, which I'm later going to be saying something about it, and especially developing and strengthening the collaborative with partners. And I think with this meeting, we were going to go back home now knowing that, yes, we've got people who we can, relate to, and maybe, seek their support to keep this momentum going, especially with the rangers. Raise funds and other resources that will keep our projects and programs sustainable. And just so that if you want to ask about the logo we have, the logo is that it's all about, the environment. It's the bird, which is one of the frigate birds in Samoa. And what you see is the sea and the trees, but we also have the tattoo, which later on, who would like to see a real tattoo? A Samoan tattoo? Really? You don't want to see it? Oh my goodness, yes. And all that, it's designed from, the whale, the fish, and it's formed into that arc shape. And that is the logo for the Samoa Conservation Society. Now, the programs that we do, if you see, we do quite a lot. And we start right from Falealupo, on this side of the island, which is the furthest west, and we go right up to Wafato, which is to Ofupolu, and these are the two main islands. So you see there we got rattan eradication, rat management, weed management, restoration, and carbon offsets. We have trails development, nursery development, garden development, and also the Manumea-friendly villages, the MFVs. And that's where our rangers come in. Now, I must say that I do acknowledge the support from the New Zealand government a lot, because they do provide assistance, and I'm hoping now that assistance through the people to come and work with us, doing up trails. And at the moment, there's a guy in New Zealand, I think he comes from DOC. I'll have to check. But we did have the support of DOC a lot, and they have come to support us with sharing their knowledge, their ideas, and the technical expertise so that we can do this work, and training us as well. So, again, I thank the Department of Conservation. Key elements for our inclusive conservation. And I think we're looking at conservation of an endemic and unique species. Now, you see on top here on the right, my right, your right, or your left, there's a beak there of a bird. Now, that bird, it's found only in Samoa. It's the last descendant of the dodo. It's called the manumea, or the tooth-bill pigeon. All right? And at the moment, there's quite a lot of students who want to study this bird. One student from New Zealand has just completed a PhD on this bird and another bird, called a mama. So if anybody wants to do further studies, you're most welcome to come and work with Samoa Conservation Society. And the MFVs, which is, we call them the Manumea Friendly Village. And I think the reason why we decided to bring that concept, it's because of these other villages, as I showed you earlier, that the Manumea is found. The last sighting of the Manumea was 2013, 14. So up to now, well, we can see it, but we cannot take photos. Unfortunately, it's very hard to try and capture this bird. But there's a group of scientists who are working from New Zealand, Australia, under the BirdLife, and they want to come and do further studies to try and have a captive program. So there you go. There's something that Doc might be able, or whoever our partners from Australia might like to take it, on board. Collaboration and programs with CSOs and governments. As you see, we do programs, and like Tui, when I met Tui, I didn't like him because he was like this, He just wants to get going, move. I said, mate, slow down, man, slow down, But I tell you, he is the man. He works hard, and I think this is the achievement that you will hear from him after. And then dealing with other organizations, which we like to have more. We like to work with more organizations. Whoever can provide that support, we're happy to, accept them. Building facilities with people with special needs, and I think this is all, it's so good that inclusive conservation is something that, when I read it and got the emails from Eric and Jolene, I said, wow, it's just right in time. Now, today or tomorrow, we are opening one of our trails, which will now include all the wheelchairs, people with disabilities, and I'm just going to, tomorrow. Oh, sorry, it's today. Tomorrow they're doing another program somewhere else. Oh, yeah. Now, like I said, some of the actions that we work with. That bird hide there is one of the first, well, it's the first and the only bird hide in Samoa. It's up at the village of Wafato, which is the furthest east, from the work that we do. And we have, some people here doing rat management. This was an experience, and there was some of Doc staff came and assisted us with this program. You see our awareness program. We have a whaiwhiau, or pastor, or reverend that does promote our conservation work through sermons on radio, TV. There are children coming to visit us, and Kevin, you're the man. Just write to us and we'll bring you over. Yeah, we have planting trees, and as you see on furthest down, you have that's our walk. I mean the trail, the path for the wheelchairs, and so they're opening today. We brought in an expert artist from I forgot his name, but it's a couple that Charles, and they did training on artwork, and they did. And one of the biggest mural of the Manumea bird is on the side of the New Zealand High Commission office in Apia, and that was launched by Jacinda Ardern, which she came in her last visit to Samoa. So we are very privileged to have these prestige people coming over to do our launching or opening of our work. Go through TV, and some people doing surveys. And you also have the training program. You see myself and Tui on that program. And also that you see, we also try and promote, we are not like New Zealand, who's got a lot of money to, slash all the nice photos of the All Blacks on the, So we put the Manumea on the bus. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a few village buses that we promote the Manumea and take it right through. And that is especially on the Manumea Conservation Program. So this program was actually launched on the 7th of September this year, and that's by the Governor General. So those are all the awareness programs of what they've done. And I'm pretty sure you see on the far side there, that's the Chris and the wife, I think. They were, Charles and yeah. They came to do that mural on the side of the New Zealand High Commission office. And we do up with signboards. And, we're not perfect, but we tried our best to deal with this, because with the training we have, I think we're trying to make sure we put it into good use. Now, just to add on that training component, I'm so thankful to New Zealand government. Like I said earlier, that I was one of the trainees that came to New Zealand in 1987. If you look at me, I'm still young. Yeah, it's 1987 when I came and be the reserve for the All Blacks during the World Cup, the first World Cup. You don't believe me? Yeah. So I was training in Turangi, and there was 4 of us. I was a PNG, a Cook Islander, a Tongan, and a Samoan. Now this is what happened. We woke up one morning. We saw outside our room in Turangi. Turangi is cold, and we saw this white thing. It was a white thing. I didn't know what it was, and this Tongan guy says, "Man, that's snow." I said, "No, really? Yeah, it's snow." I said, "Oh man." So we went outside. Here we are. Just went outside. Feel very cold. We come back, put on some, and we open our window, and we saw these footsteps going on this white thing. You know what? It was a guy from PNG. He was running. He was running on the white thing. He said, "Oh, this is snow. This is snow." First time he saw this, and he thought it was snow, but it was frost. And after that, he came back and he said, "Oh, I've got stinging feet. It must have got frostbites." Man, don't do that again. You're from Papua New Guinea. You're good for the mountains. He works for the Karaka, or the highlands. Yeah. But to us it was a good training. That's where we have learned about this ranger program, doing all that. So we're still going. The guy from this is what I like about what Lou had said. It's because a lot of the people I saw, I met during the training, they're in good positions in other parts of the world. And the Tongan guy became the head of the environment in Tonga. Te Riki from Cook Island, he went to England and worked in the conservation. And we don't know about our friend from PNG. He might have died. Yeah, but I'm still doing something for conservation. Anyway, sorry, Jim. His name is Solomon Alipet, if you want to find out.
He's a friend on Facebook.
Yeah, just some ranger trainings. We go out to a bit of camping, just like everybody. But I think this is why it's so important for us, because we have guys who left school when they were at Form 2 level or Form 3 level. It's very hard to deal with them. But when you give them this kind of idea where they go out to their bush and learn about what they have, they really appreciate that. And this is up at Uafato, the last Manumea camp that we did with these guys. So there's about 5 of them from this village. There's 3 from another village. There's 2 from Falealupo. So every village we have 1 or 2 people to work with us. And we tried our best to give them some money as well. So, you got to pay for their day. Freddie Tyler Day, I think he's happy. which is very little, right? Amen. And partnership, coming back to partnership. And these are some people that we've worked with just to help us, with what we're doing. And I hope this, you got Department of Conservation. Wow, that's good. Yeah, hopefully to see more Australia. Australia here. But anyway, we're very blessed, and I think we like to especially thank everybody who has contributed to our programs and make sure that we keep the conservation. Now it's inclusive conservation. But before I sit down, because I know Tui is going to come, and this is not going to be said after Tui. I just like to acknowledge a few people, and I like to acknowledge the Thin Green Line for making this possible for us. Or people of Rotorua, Manulua Company, for giving us this. Thank you, Jolie, Eric, Andy, Rodney, and your team. Like what Timo was saying, when you get an email and say you're going, you will be happy. But we also like to acknowledge our dear friend Kelly Knights. Thank you for starting this Ranger Association with TUI. So this is good part of it, because now I'm crying. So I'm not going to show you the last part. I won't show you my tattoo, but someone else is going to show the tattoo. Let's welcome TUI.
I think I've met a few of you guys and ladies through the. Hello, can you hear me? I'm not used to being up here. I'm behind the scenes, under the trees, and whaftai lava. Whaftai lava le. Ko whakasi. Mafuka mi kaiau. Mi ere li. Mi ere se lofa mai e wha tunuku nei asu. Whakasi. Whafkai lava le avangoa. My name is Tui Faleafaga. Just happened to have a matai title, Olsen Vavasuanga. And I was born and raised here in Auckland. And it's like coming back home. This is home for my family, for my brothers and sisters, for my nephews and nieces. This is the whānau. This is where I am in Auckland. But as purposes, as plans, and just hearing the previous speakers talking about life and about their purpose and their plans, I was drawn to the islands, to Samoa. That's Dad's side of the family. And that was 30 years ago. 30 years ago. I didn't know the language. I didn't know what to do. I just heard the calling. It's a calling, go back to the land where my parents are. And so I went there, and I'm a Christian by faith, and I just believe in the good Lord leading and just providing a pathway for my particular life, and also for the family. I'm speaking on behalf of my family. So I went back in faith, and all single, all by myself, became a long-headed person. Back in the day, 30 years ago, now I'm growing it back just for this particular conference, just here, because in the introduction, I think I sent it over. It says, how funny are you? What's the introduction? And I'm like, I says, okay. And my darling Jane said, you're going to be Tarzan. Tarzan, you know, the name Tarzan. They said, Tarzan. So I'm swinging the trees over these last 30 years. So, you know, Tarzan and Jane, my wife. So, and then our daughter, one daughter, she is like the monkey. She grew up in the village. Her name is Coco. Coco Lenny. So, and on behalf of my wife, dear Jane and Coco, they are back in Samoa and just yeah, they just here in spirit. Hey? Both in the photo, there we go. That is my dear Jane over here. She's wearing I saved the Manamea photo, the top and so forth. Across, there's Coco, right over here. She's grown up. She's almost as tall as me. And that's me there, wearing the Nepal shirt over here, looking, I don't know why I was putting the gun in front. I think I was pointing at Faleafaga, you know. And there's Kelly Knight, dear Kelly. She's been an intricate part of our setup in Samoa, the Samoa Rangers Association. So that's me. I just so proud to be here. So proud that I was part of Kelly. We went to the base camp, Mount Everest, after the conference in Nepal. I fell short. I was 1,000 feet short. I didn't make it, but anyway, yeah, there was an inspiration for setting up the FEBS, Faleafaga Environment Protection Society. It was all part of the journey back, being in the village, and I didn't know what I was doing. All I did, my dad would say, "You got the Mātai title? Now action speaks louder than words." And it was all about me just digging deep and just walking away from the world, and then ended up being in the village. And the village, Samoa, you probably all know, it's really indigenous, and it's still untouched in many ways. The culture in the village, where they still live Polynesian life day to day, and it's a powerful thing to be with, and to be in, and just feel how the people are and what they are, who they are, and Samoa are very strong in that because of their language, one fort, one power, in one, and I learned all about that over the years. So along the way, we didn't start FEBS. We actually started ECAT Ventures, and it's an ecotourism business that we started. And for my brother Emil, he came all the way from Auckland, at the back, Tolofua Emil. We co-started this FEBS. We talked a lot. He's 1 year apart. We'd talk and cheese, and we just talked about the dreams of how FEBS would look like in the years ahead. And part of that was, okay, let's start. It's just untouched where we are. So everyone's invited to come over, try our activity. Eco Venture, it's ECAT. Is ECAT over here? It's Eco Cultural Adventure Tourism. So we put it all together, and we showcase what Samoa's to offer and untouched, and also the people, the cultural side of it. And so we started these activities about jumping off waterfalls. So when people ask, he said, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "Yeah, I jump off waterfalls for a living, you know." Like, oh, okay. And so that's one of our signature waterfall, the hikes, and we do coastal, and we do all the canoe riding and mountain climbing and so forth. But we break all the laws, all the rules. You got to depend your lives on our local tour guides. So they're well trained, yeah. So saying that, I'm a visionary person. I just look ahead, see something and say like, wow. And after talking to Jane, we've been married for 16 years, and she says, "Oh no, stop, slow down, and then just tell me step by step." But along the way, it was apparently that the environment needs to be part of our product. So we looked at our natural resources and mountains and the sea and the river and so forth, and I just realised that it wasn't the first intention to be kind of like the part of the ecotourism, but it was that feel about this needs to be protected, not only in our village, but in Samoa. And I just realised it just penny dropped and just like, whoa, okay. And how do we go about it? So setting up, and that's ECAT Venture. So we do all these crazy things, the coastal, and yeah, it just keeps you in shape, I suppose. You know. So yeah, I just my birthday, it was just last week. So I requested. Jolene got a few requests to get Faleafaga, Tony over here. It was only originally Timo and myself, and then Jolene said, "Is this why bring the middleman?" Or Timo says, "He's the one who's going to gel us together, from government down to the village." And at the end of the day, not only the funding, the expertise, everything about what we do, it has to come down to the village, and just, you know, the whole thing will just open up. And so, and part of that vision was between the three, government, NGO, CBO, community-based communication or base organisation, is that things need to flow between the top and the bottom, and the villages will get not only the benefits, but also just the ranges. So at the end of the day, all these projects and Tony and Timo from the government, it sounds great, it sounds perfect. All, you know, everything's like, oh wow, they got their S together type thing. You know, got it, but there's gaps, and that's when I come in. From ground level, I look up and see, and I'm still treated like a foreigner in the village after 30 years. My Samoan's not that good, but at the end of the day, I'm a senior Matai, I'm a senior chief in the village, because they look, so they look at me as an old chief. So that its action speaks louder than words. So my dad was wise in that, but I'm learning all the way, and it's come to that stage where that wonderful opportunity to go to Nepal, Taiwan, in 2019. That just opened my eyes to the world, and then sharing it with our colleagues in Samoa. So here we are, me and Ollie. There we go, just flashing away, and this is why flashing away. So short and sweet. Here we go. So we're attempting, and we're learning of the Māori. The Māori has given us the technical, the heart, the passion to say, oh wow, this is what we can learn of our brothers here, right? And it's opened our eyes. All the programs, you know, Tony and Timo, you know, it looks good. We're all looking good, but there's gaps there, and we need to sort of address that from top to bottom and from bottom to top. And we want, you know, the contribution or the distribution, not only of the funding and the expertise, so we can just work together. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this Kelly, yep, that was at the opening of the Taiwan conference, and we're so happy. But to acknowledge Loto Tuyalik, he passed away. He passed away a couple of years ago, 2020, and we just want to acknowledge Loto. He was being part of this, what we are doing in Samoa. So thank you very much. Whawhatai te lava. Yeah, you can.
Okay, I know we are running out of time, but thanks, Eric. Just to, you know, our next steps. 2 years basically covered that, but if you look at it, what we're saying is the technical and financial support, the continuity of our networking, the resources, information to assist Samoa with range of work, which is something we would very much like your assistance, the sustainability of current programs, and strengthening of partnership with organizations, and aligning with what you're doing. Like if you know there is a program that you can assist Samoa with, please let us know. We'll be very happy to welcome you. And I think Kevin has started that. I agree. The man. And yeah, we also need to look at our institutional arrangements and governance. And I think once we have that, and now we realize this meeting is actually going to strengthen that. And I'm glad that we are here. So thank you very much. And finally, well, that's how we say it. Fa'afetai or thank you. Everybody says fa'afetai lava. Somebody say fa. Eric, please allow us to do this. Now, this is going to be the finale of our presentation. I'm going to sing a song, and you will see my good man, the High Chief of Faleafaga, performing for you, especially. Now, he doesn't have a tattoo. He has a special tattoo. Ladies and gentlemen, Tui. Afutea. All of you know this song, sing along. Tiali maua fai mai, ia file muia. Tali langi so tatou ai, fai talia peretani, auele kovanae, iwe fa vitiva. E te leilo aina o se whanatawili ai moli mauta maiti malea o fineo filisi o e lavana e whapa o le whana hey oh